Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Hello and welcome, adventurers. I'm Mary, and in this video, I'll be going over the history of Sharlayan, its role in the story so far, and what we can expect to see when we finally set foot in the City of Knowledge in Endwalker. Be warned, this video contains spoilers for the main scenario up to Shadowbringers patch 5.55 and the Astrologian job quests. So if you need more time to study, we can delay your application to the Studium until you're ready. In the days leading up to the 6th Umbral Calamity, one of the 12 Archons, Nunkref Numkrefson, foresaw the coming floods through his astrology and began to prepare. He built a vast ship and set sail for Eorzea. Along the way, he rescued as many people as he could trying to flee the flood. As the floodwaters rose, Numkref saw that the boat would not withstand the increasingly violent tides. So he cast powerful teleportation magic, which transported his boat and his passengers to Alabathia's spine. However, other people had traveled to Girabania seeking higher elevation. These refugees had to compete for the scarce resources the region had to offer, and had turned barbaric and violent. Nunkref knew his people would be in danger if they remained, so when the rain stopped, they abandoned their ship and traveled until they reached the Dravanian hinterlands. It was here that they made a new ship and sailed to the Isles in the northern seas. Their settlement became what is now known as Old Sharlayan. The people followed Nunkref's teachings to forever renounce war and walk in the light of wisdom and reason. Rather than having a single leader, every adult was given a voice that decided the city's future in a gathering known as the Ecclesia. Citizens gathered and debated until a consensus was reached and then implemented. As the population grew, the Ecclesia grew to be too large, and reaching a group consensus took far too long. And so a new method of government was founded, the Forum. The Forum consists of 99 members elected by citizens 16 and older. While the Speaker of the Forum is considered the head of state, the power they wield is heavily restricted by law. Sharlayan's motto is "Knowledge seeks no man," so it should come as no surprise that numerous institutions of learning blossomed in its early history, the most notable and prestigious being the Studium, founded in 432. Here, students were encouraged to study anything from aetherology to survival and intelligence gathering. Those who become exceptionally knowledgeable and contribute profoundly to their fields of study are given the title Archon. To make them distinguishable from their peers, Archons have an arcane symbol etched onto their skin. These paragons of learning are afforded many benefits in Sharlayan, including access to otherwise forbidden tomes. In 1311, a group of Sharlayan scholars traveled to the Dravanian hinterlands and set up an outpost to study the ethereal sea. Rumors spread of a community of scholars, and students began flocking from every corner of Eorzea to seek their wisdom. 50 years later, in 1361, the Forum formally recognized the settlement as a colony. And with that proclamation, it joined the 6 city-states of Eorzea. But in 1557, when Alamigo fell into Garlean control, the Sharlayans knew their way of life was in jeopardy. Holding fast to Nunkref's beliefs, Sharlayans sent ambassadors to Garlemald in an attempt to parley. Unfortunately, they were not successful. As a result, Fortuno Levayor and his faction within the Forum elected to abandon the colony. And in 1562, the Sharlayan citizens evacuated the hinterlands to their island home, leaving their students alone in a now empty city. Before the Exodus took place, an astrologian named Rufin Bird journeyed to Ishgard at the behest of his fellow classmate. Rufin wished to teach astrology in Ishgard, thinking it would aid them in the Dragonsong War. His passion and flair for astrology was beginning to catch on, until he was found murdered in his quarters. Using Rufin's death as a rallying cry, an aspiring politician named Sylvester Albright urged the Forum to make the changes that led to Sharlayan abandoning the hinterlands. Teaching outside Sharlayan can be grounds for arrest and imprisonment for theft of national resources. So when Rufin's daughter, Leveva, arrives in Eorzea to teach Sharlayan astrology, Sylvester, now a prominent Forum member and leader of the Bibliothek faction, hires mercenaries to stop her. During her journey, Leveva discovers that Sylvester was responsible for Rufin's death. She uses this knowledge as blackmail against the Forum member, in order to free her grandfather from prison and continue teaching in Eorzea without interference from Sharlayan. Sharlayan maintains this laissez-faire policy with the rest of the world. Most recently, the Eorzean Alliance sent Kryl as an ambassador to petition the Forum for aid. The hope was to have Sharlayan join with the Alliance to stop the Talafroi from causing the end of days. The Forum sent Fortuno Levayor to Eorzea to deliver the reply. Sharlayan would not intervene. So, what's to expect in Sharlayan once the Warrior of Light arrives? What could be a large hint is what Fortuno says in his brief appearance. If the end of days were truly upon us, we would know. I agree with Grahatia when he says the Forum knows something they're probably not sharing. I think it's possible they've discovered a prophecy about the end of days, possibly foretold by Messiah Thousand Eyes, the prophetess who predicted all 7 umbral calamities. I'd also be surprised if we don't see Sylvester Albright take a large role, since his leadership of the Bibliothek faction would put him at odds with the Warrior of Light. As one of the oldest and strongest Archons alive, we'll probably be paying Master Matoya a visit at some point.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems.
You think that's bad, Matoya? You should see how they treat me. Another interesting thing to note is that in the Encyclopedia Eorzea, Fortuno Levayor is very clearly listed as Louis Sois's eldest son, meaning there may be more Levayors to meet, be they friend or foe. So, how do you think our foray into the City of Knowledge will go? Is the information needed to make our way to the moon hidden in a forbidden tome? Or will we be forced to forge ahead on our own, with our fellow Scions as our only guide? Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. I also stream on Twitch, link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, adventurers, remember, you matter, and may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.